Hey, I'm Llama Gucci from Ashijima's farm and you're watching Disney Channel. Noah. You know what to do, right? Noah raised an eyebrow, his piercing gaze as serious as ever, while Tanaka nodded just as assertively. I'll handle my part, but how about you? I've called in reinforcements. Really? Who? Ota from class 3. He said he had the perfect plan to distract Chikara. Damn, for real? How'd you manage to do that? It took a lot. At times I even wanted to give up, but we finally came into an agreement when I told him I'd let him. You didn't. Tanaka gasped, his eyes widening while Noah sighed, nodding slowly. I had to. But you know that's practically impossible, right? I mean, you're the chosen one for a reason. Well, he doesn't know that. So we're scamming him? Not necessarily. If push comes to shove, we'll have to rely on Yamamoto to dress up as Kyoko and slap him. Wouldn't he figure out it isn't Kyoko? Not if we tell him she won't slap him unless it's in a dark room. So we're still scamming him? You, whose side are you on? Ours. But what are you both doing out here? The guys jumped, letting out an admittedly jolly scream as Inoshita stood against the door, his arms crossed and his eyebrows tightly knit together. Nothing. We were just talking about making flashcards for biology. Inoshita, who had a monotonous look on his face, nodded before turning on his heel. If I catch you guys slacking off or trying to escape, you know what's happening. The frightened boys watched as the dark-haired male walked back inside, the two of them glancing at each other, gulping before slowly walking faster. I'm coming. I thought you said you'd handle Kinoshita and Nerita. I thought I fooled them, but they figured out our act. Well, no shit, we're the worst liars on this planet. Tanaka grumbled, running faster, his legs almost giving out. He wondered how the other shorty in his team could do this every single day without fail. What about you, Ha? Your reinforcements had barely gotten started before Chikara figured out his act. Don't blame me. I knew Chikara was smart, but damn it, he's just too smart for us. Their breathless gasps filled the atmosphere as they ran like the wind, a very angry Inoshita chasing them. I told you can't fool me. He's fast to run. Down the stairs, through the corridors, in between crowds, Nishinoya ran in long strides, mindless of where he was going, how much time had gone by, or the people following after him. When his legs started to give out, he gingerly came to a stop, catching his breath. Ryu, I think we lost him. When he turned around, his eyes widened. Inoshita was a few meters away from catching up to them. You look out, he's right behind you. Ha ha. Tanaka, who had been catching his breath, slowly looked up at his best friend. Before he could react, however, he felt a pair of hands grip onto the back of his shirt, his eyes almost bulging out of its socket. Got you. No, Noah, escape while you can. But you. Forget about me. Go now. Survive for the both of us. Noah distorted his hand into a fist, bringing it to his chest, nodding firmly. I'm sorry, I won't forget this. You guys are so dramatic, and for what? Inoshita rolled his eyes as he and the frustrated boy he had captured watched Nishinoya vanish out of sight. How dare you? Tanaka received a flick on the back of his head before being dragged away to what he called the dark side. Wow. This is it, huh? This is where things fall apart. I can't believe I forgot it. Noah even reminded me and I still forgot it. Guess I'm going to have to wait until it stops raining. Asahi brought his hands to his temples, rubbing them irately. Asahi, we're leaving you lock up, right? Haha. Oh yeah, you guys go on ahead. Alright, see you tomorrow. Asahi nodded nervously before returning his gaze back to his bag. On second thought, would waiting actually work? I'd most likely be the only one here, and the last time I stayed late at school the janitor thought I was a gangster. What if I? Asa-san. Asahi's mindless thoughts came to an abrupt stop as he slowly turned to a familiar voice. No, Noah. You won't believe what's wrong? You look like you'd just seen a ghost. Let me guess, you forgot to bring an umbrella, didn't you? Asahi's eyes widened for a split second before rubbing the back of his neck with a sheepish grin on his face. Of course you'd know that. Yeah, I've been sorta stressed lately, so I know that, and that's why I brought mine. And Noah paused, a slight shade of pink dusted on his cheeks as he looked up at the other with innocent eyes. We could share mine. The corners of Asahi's lips quirked up into a dashing smile. God, he's adorable. Wait, don't you have to go home though? I told you I was coming over today, did you forget that too? Noah's eyebrows furrowed as a pout found its way onto his face. Oh, that's right, he told me he was coming over. I'm so sorry, Noah. It completely slipped my mind with finals and stuff. You big meanie. Sorry. And here I was excited to give you all the cuddles in the world. Noya huffed in annoyance as he pulled out his umbrella from his bag, unwrapping it and stretching it out while the other locked up the doors behind them. I'll make it up to you, I promise. You better. As Noya's petite hands struggled to hold his umbrella above them, a crooked smile was plastered on his face when he watched the fretful boy next to him all hunched over. By the way, were you trying to say something earlier? Huh? Oh yeah, I just ran a whole marathon trying to escape Chikara. What, why? He tried to make Tanaka and I. When Asahi looked down at his boyfriend, he was surprised to see the nauseated look on his face. No, Noah. He tried to make us study. Oh god, even saying that out loud makes me wanna jump off a cliff. Asahi blinked a couple of times before letting out a sigh. You guys will never change. Pish, studying is for losers. Are you calling me a loser? No. Before Asahi could question him, Nishinoya looked up at him with a cheeky grin. You're my loser. Asahi gently grabbed the umbrella from the other, holding it above them before pulling the shorter one closer to him, smiling down at him. And you're mine. So you slide it into this hole like this and then pull this out. Okay. Noya, the hair's coming out. I know. I can't seem to get it right. Nishinoya tugged on his boyfriend's hair harder, earning a painful grunt from him who had been trying just as hard to study peacefully. Noya Hana, I'm trying to study here. Shinei-chan, stay still. Don't mind Asa-kun. Keep doing that satanic ritual, we're almost done. You guys have been saying that for a while now, you know. It's not our fault your stupid beautiful hair won't cooperate. Hanako tugged on Nishinoya's shirt, who leaned down in response. Noya, what's kuoret? Nishinoya blinked a few times before shrugging lightly with a small smile. Great question, I'll get back to you when I know the answer. Exactly why you need to be studying with me instead of goofing around. You like it when I braid your hair though. Asahi was about to argue when he realized there would be no point in doing so. He shook his head, sighing, and went back to studying. Noya, I have an idea. Oh, what is it? Wait here. Nishinoya raised an eyebrow, letting out a light chuckle as he watched his boyfriend's little sister scurry out of the room for a moment before running back inside. She extended out her hand, revealing 2 nail polishes, one in pink and one in purple. Let's paint his nails. Asahi shut his book and instantly whipped his head around, pure horror in his eyes. Nishinoya furrowed his eyebrows, not knowing what to say. Let's do pink. Now that's enough of bothering your brother. All of them turned to the voice behind them, Asahi's mother holding a plate of cookies with a smile on her face. But I want to paint Nei-chan's nails. Asahi's mother walked to the kotatsu table located in the middle of the room and placed the plate of cookies on it before turning to Hanako with her hands on her hips. Your brother needs to study for his finals and you young lady need to come with us now. Hanako hid behind Nishinoya's legs, who stumbled in response and shook her head persistently. We can play later, Hana-chan, okay? But next time we'll try new hairstyles, okay? An enormous grin formed on the little girl's smile as she let go of his leg and jumped up and down. Yay, okay. No. Nishinoya laughed lightly, ruffling her dusky hair. He smiled as he watched his boyfriend relax his shoulders from the corner of his eye. That's right, you can do that later. Now hurry up and say bye to Nei-chan and Noya-san, dad's waiting in the car for us. Hanako nodded as she turned to Noya, giving him a big hug before running to her brother and squeezing him tightly. Why can't you come? I'll miss you, Nei-chan. I wish I could come too, but I have to study for exams. Boo, school's taking away Nei-chan from me. Hanako pouted, earning a laugh from Asahi. Have fun and don't cause trouble for grandma and grandpa, okay? Mkay. Good, I'll see you soon. Asahi kissed his little sister's cheek and waved her goodbye as she ran out of the room. You guys be careful, okay? The both of them nodded their heads. I've already done grocery shopping, so you can either use them to make yourselves dinner or order takeout. Okay, thank you. Asahi nodded. Alright, I'll see you on Monday. Noya, please make sure he doesn't overwork himself. Asahi's mum chuckled as Noya nodded firmly and Asahi scratched the back of his neck awkwardly. She waved them goodbye before leaving the room. Finally, we have the house to ourselves. Nishinoya heaved a wistful sigh as he plopped down on Asahi's lap, wrapping his arms around his neck. No, Noya. Can I stay over tonight? Sure, but. Great, now come on. Where? A crooked smile formed on Nishinoya's face. Let's cuddle. Now? You've studied enough. I haven't even studied a little. Asa-san. Fine, get up. Nishinoya shook his head, tightening his hold around the other's neck. Asahi smiled softly and pecked his lips before lifting both of themselves up and carrying the shorter boy to his bed. He sat down on the bed, wrapping his arms around the shorter one's neck, who rested on his lap, leaning against his chest. What movie do you wanna watch? I'm up. Sure, I've been meaning to check it out anyways. You've never watched it? Nope, heard it was sad, so you're missing out, it's so good. The screen slowly flickered open and within a few moments a movie started playing. Though their eyes were fixated on the movie, their minds were preoccupied with overwhelming thoughts. Noah. What do you want for dinner tonight? Anything's fine with me. Alright, we'll figure it out later then. 30 minutes passed away with not a word exchanged between one another. Nishinoya snuggled closer to his boyfriend's chest, his own feeling tightened by the angst playing out in front of them. All of a sudden he could hear the sound of solemn sniffles and shuddering breath and whipped his head around immediately. Asahi, are you crying? No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Nishinoya smiled softly as he brushed his thumbs against the hot tears on the other's cheeks, wiping them away gently. It's just too sad. It gets even sadder. I know. Asahi's voice cracked as he rubbed his eyes, sniffling lightly. You're such a dork. Shut up, I can't help it. I know, and that's what I love about you. Nishinoya leaned up, kissing his cheek before turning back to the TV. A few minutes went by before Nishinoya felt large fingers grazing through his hair in smooth and slow strokes. Nishinoya giggled as he looked up at his boyfriend once again, who had been smiling down at him, a sheer emphasis on his dimples. I'm gonna miss doing this with you. Asahi's fingers stopped moving as he furrowed his eyebrows. What do you mean? We won't be able to do this next year, when you're off to college. Oh. Yeah. There was a brief pause before Nishinoya spoke again. But it'll be okay, we're only 265.947 miles away from each other. Did you actually? I was bored, okay. Asahi let out a laugh, ruffling the other's hair. Asahi. Yeah? What would you do if I told you I cheated on you? There was a brief moment of silence, Asahi rubbing circles on the back of Nishinoya's hand with his thumb and the other looking up at him. I wouldn't believe you. Why not? Because you showed me what trust is. A blush crept its way onto Nishinoya's face as he grinned from ear to ear. No matter where we go, you'll always be my ace. Asahi smiled back and dipped his head down, pressing his lips against the other's soft ones. He cupped the other's cheeks, pulling him closer, the pounding in his chest not slowing down. As though they were drifting through a timeless existence, moments passed away before their eyes fluttered open, their cheeks flushed, their heartbeats racing rhythmically. I'll always be on my hands and knees, ready to receive any ball you throw at me. Noah. A roar of laughter rumbled from Nishinoya's stomach as he watched the other's flustered face. I still can't believe you're going into fashion. I've always been interested in it. You better make your first outfit for me, okay? Don't people usually do that for their dogs? What? Am I completely wrong here? Duh, it's romantic to make something like that for your partner. I did not know that. At least you weren't planning on making your first outfit for your neighbor's dog. Yeah. You. Asahi, what the frick? I'm sorry, Bruno and I have just grown closer over the last few weeks. Goddammit, now a freaking dog is my competition. HMPH. Well, what about you? Huh? Do you know what you want to do? I don't know yet. Kinder had a wild idea though. What is it? I kinda want to travel around the world. You should go for it. You think so? Yeah, if there's anyone who would do that, it would be you. Well, in that case, I'll do it. Asahi's lips curved into a gentle smile as he stared at the other with softened eyes. Good. But you better wait for me. Nishinoya sat up, turning towards the other and stared at him with fiery eyes, his gaze holding on to the other's darker ones. Asa-san. Noah. We're gonna take on the world together. So wait for me, yeah? Asahi grabbed the shorter one's hand, interlocking their fingers together, the smile on his face remaining unwavered. Always. No, that's not how you fry an egg. Yes, it is. I do this all the time. Define all the time. Nishinoya shifted his eyes awkwardly and looked away. Let's not talk about the specifics. Have you just started boiling the noodles? Oh yeah, I kinda forgot. Asahi face-palmed himself before he looked up, his eyes widening in shock. Wait, what's that? Nishinoya's gaze trailed along Asahi's and landed on the microwave. That's me. Don't tell me you've been boiling milk while doing all this at the same time. Holy crap Noya YD. Wait Asa-san, what's happening there? Asahi looked up immediately, his eyes widening a million times more than it previously had as he dragged the shorter one away from the kitchen in a flash. Where are you taking me? The milk is going to explode. What? Before either of them could mutter a word true to the taller one's words, a loud thud was heard from the kitchen. They immediately ran to the kitchen, taking a look at the mess created. Milk all over the microwave, the fried egg completely burned on the pan, and Lord knows what was going on with the boiling noodles. I just stepped away for a few minutes. Asahi inhaled a sharp breath and turned his head to a fretful Nishinoya who was scratching the back of his neck, avoiding eye contact. So Domino's? Asahi heaved a sigh before nodding his head slowly. Do you think Bruno would like my fried egg? Asahi narrowed his eyes at the other, who put his hands up immediately, shaking his head. I'm kidding. What am I gonna do with you? I can think of plenty of. No. Boo you whore. Nishinoya muttered under his breath before walking out of the kitchen, throwing his apron on a chair, leaving a confused Asahi.
Oh, yeah.